go! Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And
let's play a game together. Yeah,
let's attend a ball together. Let's see what Nadia and her sister's version of a ball is.
Nadia takes my hand and squeezes it tight as we're announced. Then we glide past the double doors together. Whoosh, foo, swoosh. We descend the staircase hand in hand. The entire room is dark, save for the magic lights floating down the stairs beside us.
Oh.
I can hear the hushed murmurs of the crowd, but cannot see anything except Nadia. Except that that's not how light works. If you've got floating things, eventually, you'll have enough. I don't agree. That's fine.
Maybe the floating light is supposed to basically be a spotlight that is tracking you effectively?
Yeah, but, it's not so brilliant that it's overwhelming. They didn't describe it as that. So I'd be like, you should be able to then see the rest of the crowd, because that's how that works.
But the ballroom's dark. Maybe it's pitch dark. You can't see them because it's so black.
Yeah, but you still have all these magical lights in the air.
Except for right now, it's only the floating lights on us.
They didn't say they were on us. They just said they were just magical lights that just float above us. That was it.
I think above the two of you. Anyway, I don't know.
Because
matter.
the thing is also with this.
Carzone's not wearing their glasses. Who cares? They can't see anything, no.
Who cares? And the glittering light of the night sky in the dome above us, casting her in a soft starlight. Bullshit. You should be able to see people.
You should.
You should. That's it. Anyway,
it's
I was right.
You're right. And I guess you got down the stairs at some
It turned
point.
also into salsa imitative music.
It's fine. Don't worry. It got very quiet, too. Like, quiet salsa. May I have this dance? Corazon. What the heck would Nadia do if she wasn't dating anyone right then? I'll throw my ball and dance by myself if it's ceremonial customary?
I don't know. We never dealt with it in the other route. In
That's
Julian's
true.
route, she just was like,
there.
I'm here, bat, bat, bat. And you're like, what
I don't
happened?
think we were even in the ballroom for her grand announcement. We were dealing with other things.
No, we really weren't. But also the other thing is, I think we, if you're going to even possibly make the argument that she would, dance with Portia, you would think that then, eventually you would find out through the grapevine by way of Julian.
Right? Or that Portia would mention it when she comes fluttering in going, oh my god, Julian! Wow, I still have the,
Because we danced, wow! Mm-hmm. Except that, does Portia know how to actually dance?
The dance.
Anyway, before I can answer, Nadia sweeps me off my feet and to the starting bars of the song, which has been going on for a while, and the rest of the world falls away into a salsa.
It's fine.
Clearly. Ta-ta-pa-ta! No eyes on us. No one else in the room. Just Nadia and I dancing alone. Why do you want to be so alone?
I was to say, why do you imagine it that way? Okay, so apparently, despite the fact that Nadia seems to like to show off the things and people she owns, I'm just going to put it that way, and look, this is the person that is mine, I'll show them off, I'll display them, I'll decorate them, I'll also touch them to show you that I own them. Corazon, or your MC in this point, is going, it's just us. I don't want to focus on performance or showing off or being present, which is what Nadia's doing.
Yes.
I just want to picture being with just her.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like, I don't know. It also doesn't fit with it doesn't connect with what Nadia seems to want.
Yes.
So it feels incongruous. Like the two of you definitely want very different things in your life and out of your experience, because Nadia likes to show off. Mm-hmm. And if you're like, it is only us, I get it being romantic, but it also doesn't fit the moment, because it would be very romantic to be like, together we are the center of attention, based on her priorities.
Right, and especially, I always felt like, though, that intro to Walking Down was actually more me showing off, because we go hand in hand. Part of it is, I don't, Corazon going, what are we fucking doing? Still the hand-holding thing in public. It's not working for me.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, also, there's been no discussion of this relationship after the first bit of it, ever.
I'm still mad about that.
You started to talk about it. That was amazing.
That was the most, clear-cut, thing, rather than Julian suddenly going, we can't be together! And you're like, we were together?
Are we together?
What? Huh? Hey, baby?
Dancing.
It's amazing how she always makes me feel like the only one. I'm the only one. It's amazing how she always makes me feel like the only one she sees.
Yep.
The only one she wants. I still feel like that's an awkward sentence. You should just say, I'm the only one she sees?
I don't
know.
I've heard sentences like that. Because you're talking about yourself, so you don't need to specify, because you're so much in a void together.
Honestly, though, we've done shit like that before, and I'm like, who are you talking about?
There's that one. I was just say, I'm also like, Nadia doesn't seem to want anyone ever, so I'm the only one doesn't sound like that doesn't sound remarkable. Because she doesn't seem to want anybody. It's not like she's, look at me, take in the world, I'm opulent, I'm seductive, I'm amazing, everyone wants me, and I sort of want the attention, want them. She really is just like, I'm over here, they're over there, I have my agenda, and they can, and I will take care of things. And then she likes, a person. So I don't know. Like, I appreciate that the MC is feeling, I'm the only one she wants, but like, she never wants anyone, so you should feel that way real easily. Like, it should be a simple, trivial thing.
All right. The only one she wants. But also, like, Corazone's big thing is going, like, still with this thing going, we had this basically elaborate relationship we were going to get involved in, and then it, like, dropped off, which is sort of confusing. And it seemed to then go really strongly into more, like, romantic, and also, like, weirdly performative. Which is why I'm like, Corazon this whole time in my brain has just been very confused. So,
again, Corazon quite young.
Our bodies move together like old partners. That isn't... I
Extremely familiar.
I know.
Yeah.
Pushing and pulling. My heart knows every step.
But do your feet know every step?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if your heart knows it. If your feet don't, you're screwed. I find myself wishing this moment would never end. I really don't. I find myself wishing this moment would never end. No.
It's fine.
Then the lights come up, and the other partygoers join us on the ballroom floor.
Oh, see, there are people
there.
They're on the ballroom already. I think floor.
Because the thing is you're talking about, they join us on the dance floor of the ballroom.
Yeah,
swirling
the whole
colors surrounding it. That was a very
the
awkward
room.
sentence.
The whole thing is the ballroom. They couldn't take their eyes off of you. Neither could I. You look stunning.
Corazon, this is what I do with the things you give me. Of course I look stunning.
Of course I look stunning. After
I
you gave
made
me
it
that
better.
Tailored,
You gave me a piece of fabric.
You gave me a fabric.
And you gave me a weird mask.
And I made it into something. You said I had it tailored for you. You had this piece of
You
cloth.
mean I tailored it myself?
Myself? Yes.
In 5 seconds, apparently? How did I even do that?
Folded, tucked. Sorry. Wrapping all the way.
Corazon, I couldn't take my eyes off you.
That's how the dance works also. Like, by the way. Good. That makes us quite the stunning pair.
But that's not the same. She really does just go, you look amazing! No one could keep their eyes off you. You go, I couldn't keep my eyes off you. That's actually different. She's not going, I couldn't keep my eyes off you. It was the crowd couldn't. That is still like Nadia going, see, look! People like you. You're a good pet.
She also likes to be very performative. It's again we're alone in this, suggesting there's a level of inequality suggested here and that I find interesting. It reminds me a little bit of like the Disney Aladdin cartoon with the magic carpet scene where Jasmine's having a like an empowering, connective freedom experience.
Yeah.
And she's also kind of getting romantic feelings and stuff going, you've done really cool shit for me and we're doing this together. And he's having a power trip.
Yeah.
Going, I can do and have anything. And this will work.
I can show you the world, which is about, him going, here's my power, and her going, wow, freedom and all this stuff and
beauty.
And beauty, because even though even as the princess, she's completely locked up, but him, honestly, he would be completely freaking trapped anyway, which is like, I'm like, it feels like a mix of themes. Anyway.
I was saying, the thing is like, in the lyrics of the song, when you listen, like for me, what I always hear is him going, I'm going to own all of this shit. And her going, this is romantic and sweet, and I didn't expect that. Right. As well as both of them going freedom in different ways.
Right.
Like, but completely different ways. And she's looking at him, and he's looking at, oh my god, the whole world.
Right.
And I feel like there's a bit of this in that Corazon, or your MC specifically, is going, oh my god, I'm with Nadia, and together I think of her, and there's this alone of just us. And she's going, look at us interact with everyone.
Well, and that's the thing where I'd be like, Corazon would be like, everyone is appropriately looking at us, as they should. It wouldn't be I couldn't keep my eyes off you, Nadia. Wow.
Yes, we were stunning.
We were stunning.
We were
the
amazing.
Crowd does love us, don't they? You know, like, it's hard sometimes to keep track of a character because some of this stuff is just so baffling. And you're just like, and you don't know what's coming.
I'm also like, why not pair Nadia with an MC that is more into what she's into? If she is really into, again, being performative, receiving, visual praise and interest and stuff, why would you have someone going, no, it's just about us, when she's clearly interacting with and playing the audience, if you will. She's being a showman.
She likes attention.
stunning pair.
Sure.
The ballroom is really pretty, though.
We continue dancing, her hand firm on my lower back. Eventually, she speaks again, and I can tell the words have been weighing heavily on her since we awoke.
I understand if you're not ready to discuss it yet, but...
I'm going to continue this anyway.
Huh. About what that creature said, regarding your past.
Which I am not distressed about.
Yeah, actually, no. I wouldn't
I think
either.
also the thing is with the main character, there's actually been very little agony in regards to going, one, we mentioned going, your character actually hasn't had headaches this entire time. And two, they've barely even mentioned, like, I think they did once or twice early on, and then, like, the thing about I don't remember shit just went away. None of it matters. We've mentioned Nadia with her headaches and her having memory stuff, so that's been more consistent, but our shit has just been completely dropped.
I'll say, this is more about her than about us, and, like, it's way less about us going, our memories.
But we have mentioned
route.
before that it does seem to be an actual problem with the game where they are so fucking terrified of telling you who you are because they told you that you could play whatever you want, except they tell you who you are all the time, which I think is hilarious.
Well, it's again that thing of going, if I say the world falls away and it's just me and Nadia, that is a type of focus on a character behavior.
Yeah.
So it's like you never have had a blank slate.
This entire
just
time.
Lean in.
Yeah.
The fact that they won't ask... So we've talked a little bit about the fact that they won't ask questions at all. Like, neither of the MCs in either of these routes are a curious, intrepid, investigative
They
lot.
don't.
They get hired for an investigation, and they have no interest in investigating.
They don't. They're so incredibly just, like, uninspired.
Nerd is very much like, hey, I don't know what's going on, I'll just get pulled through this. And that worked well.
Uh-huh.
I was just say, and Corazon is like, I'm going to follow your direction because you know what you're doing.
Uh-huh. But also, like...
And it works in its own way.
Nerd was horrible in the way of going, like, Nadia would have never hired Nerd, because Nerd actually did almost literally nothing.
Yeah.
Like...
Except if Nadia's really not skilled at this job, then that's why she hired Nerd. Going, you're just a magician, you would know.
Of course, yeah.
Boners, awkward boners.
Uh-huh. But again, I'm like, that just sort of adds either, like, then lean into the character being that bad and that awkward, and that should actually be, like, a plot point or something. Like, you can have worlds where people are bad at the shit they do, okay? Which is why I think, actually, in some ways, Nadia being a fucking mess is actually really interesting, but the fact that they keep trying to go, no, but she's capable, but all these things, I'm like, no, she's not. She's a wreck. She
Just
hates
lean
this.
in.
She doesn't want to do this. That would be an interesting thing to actually discover or
It'd be a
question
really
or
fun
interact
thing.
with.
It'd be a really fun thing to bring the reader in on, of
Yeah.
going, she does come off this way, and you find out she's not this way, and she eventually becomes vulnerable and brings you in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be
All
very
right.
interesting.
Regarding your past.
How could I forget? Just an hour ago, I learned I died 3 years ago. It's still a lot to process.
It is a lot to think about.
It is,
for
for sure. I died 3 years ago. I don't know what the hell that means, because again, I have no attachment to any of that.
Okay,
He told me that I worked to try to... Why would
So for
I be
me-
trying to solve a plague? Corazon, I like to tailor. Why would I plague?
Why would it plague?
What?
Was the plague getting in a way of my own pursuits? Corazon going, I can't get fabric, I can't get thread, the commerce has stopped, I have no charms. I'm gonna go fix this damn plague myself so I can get my materials. That sounds very empowered.
Possibly, but then that would result in I'm gonna go talk to Lucio about it, not like...
I'm gonna go to
go-
our leaders.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not I'm gonna go talk to a doctor.
Join a doctor. I mean, if the
Because in
doctor-
some ways, you do really have that thing of going, like, if I believe basically in the higher power and the authority of royalty, some people really did believe that basically a royalty could control stuff like that, because there's also a level of going, you have a divine right.
Yep.
Which is the thing that I wish they would address here, going, do you actually have divine right here, or are you guys just talking out of your ass constantly?
Which is why I want to know how, like, as far as I understand, well, I've been trying not to learn more of the story, but as far as I understand, Lucio wasn't born into this position.
Uh-huh.
And he wasn't born into owning this castle.
Yeah.
And I want to know how he got it.
Right?
And it wasn't Nadia's castle.
And I want to know
far as I
in
know.
the game.
Yes.
So again, the big thing that pisses
I want
me
the
off...
game to tell me. I
Yes.
assume you'd have to play his route to find out how he came in possession of the castle.
Probably?
But that's what I want to know. In his route, going, okay, so what's your rags to riches story, sir? And going, how did that happen for you?
Right?
And is he some like murderous, bloodlusting fiend somewhere after
Who's also this devious, incredibly powerful manipulator.
master manipulator. And everyone's like, and like basically the culture around him is, ha ha, disaster baby. But what's actually going on is he's, an incredibly awful, horrible manipulator badass, and everyone's just, like, it's my trash baby kind of thing, like you do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. All right.
It's still a lot to process.
It is a lot to process. Lucio's a lot to process.
Lucio is a lot to process.
It's fine. I am here for you. I cannot imagine what you are going through.
Corazon, please, it's not so dramatic.
It's not that big a deal.
It's just, it's a lot, in a way, like, it's not necessarily emotional, but I feel like I should have emotions, should have feelings about it.
Thoughts about it. I feel like I should go and slap my hobo master across the face and go, you didn't tell me I died.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
What happened?
If I had a life going on before I died, I'd probably have more resources somewhere.
Yeah, right? Well, and again, I'm actually really surprised that, like, your main character doesn't go, I should talk to Asra about that.
I mean, in this entire plot, it's like, I shouldn't talk to Asra about anything, even though he clearly knows about it. Even when he shows up and goes, I have knowledge about this, you're like, yeah, I guess I'll never talk to you about that. That's sort of what
it's fine.
Going through. Again, none of these characters are intrepid or curious. None of them are investigators. Like, if you wanted to play Nancy Drew in these games, you'd be screwed.
You'd go insane.
You would. If you wanted to play Miss Marple, if you wanted to play a person who solves mysteries, like a main character who did, you wouldn't be able to.
Wait a minute! I think that's one of the reasons why the whole mystery tagline pisses me off so much.
Because
you're supposed to be the detective, and you are doing no detecting. At all. You are supposed to be the investigative person. You're supposed to be Poirot. You're supposed to be Miss Marple. You're supposed to be Sherlock Holmes. You're supposed to be the person who asks the questions, does the stuff. You are doing none of that.
Yeah.
God damn it!
So my friend this whole time has been like, they tag it a mystery, but it's not a mystery. And
like the recent trailer that they actually came out with for the Arcana. Solve the mystery! You're not solving anything! The story is being thrown at you in regards to the pacing that they feel like is basically interesting.
I was going to say, a point-and-click adventure of hidden objects has more figure out the mystery than this does.
Yes.
Now, this one does reveal information to you the way any story does, but you yourself aren't solving the mystery.
No, you're really not, and it...
Nice, we figured it out. We figured it out.
Damn it!
Excellent. All right. Your memories, your past life. Would you like to remember it?
Corazon, so far it hasn't given me any trouble, so why bother?
I don't see how it would be important.
No,
I want to live in the present. Okay, yes, Corazon has this answer. Perfect.
No, I want to live in the present.
Excuse me, it's fine.
It would be tempting to obsess over it all, to endlessly rehash the past and try to get it back. But it doesn't really matter what happened, how I died.
Or who I was.
Really? I'm not them. In fact, as far as, like, again, Corazon going, what the hell? Why would I, like, it'd be like, you must have been, like, I must have been an entirely other person, which is one of the reasons why, like, I'm so annoyed going, how do you guys believe in death? What do you think of souls? What do you think of afterlife? What do you think of reincarnation? What is your belief about life after death? Is there one?
See, and that's the thing, as I was going, it would help me so much in both of these cases to understand the character's reaction to, oh my god, I died, if I knew anything about the people's beliefs about death.
Yes.
Whether it was Astra's beliefs about death and what we absorbed from him, or what, we believed ourselves.
Well, because clearly there are actually lots of different cultures here, which is sort of interesting, but they're all sort of weirdly mishmash in a way I don't know how to describe, because it is that sort of weird Orientalist look, where everybody just kind of,
goes together.
Sort of goes together in a weird way.
Except the pirates.
Except the pirates.
Yeah.
Where, like...
gestures vaguely into the distance, the pirates.
The pirates, But yeah, like, I would really honestly like to know, that's one of the things that I think I remember asking, even in Julian's route, going, this feels offensive because you have no beliefs about basically life after death at all. And as far as I understand, pretty much one of the big things they talk about in anthropology that is the similarities between all cultures is, like, everybody has jokes and everybody has stuff about death.
Yeah, death practices.
And death beliefs. Like, that is, I think, like, the big, or there might be, like, 5 of them, but there are, like, really, really, really small. Because other than that, everything is so ridiculously diverse. Like, people are wild, but that's why I'm like, why is there no discussion of, like, death rituals, funerals, how these rites work, expectations for the dead?
Means.
What does it mean to...
Is it a problem to bring someone back from the dead?
Right? Especially when you're going to throw magic into the mix.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that inappropriate?
Do you become a revenant? Do you become an undead? What are you?
There's such an opportune spot in this game. Okay. I've got a thing.
Go ahead.
All right, so there's such an opportunity in this game. Now that we've seen that Julian dies, I'll put in quotes, but dies in both routes.
Right.
I can only assume that he dies in all the routes, okay? I might not be true, but I'm going to assume it, okay? That part of the story happens the same.
Yes.
So there's a chance to talk about what your beliefs about death are. And not only he's going to come back to life where he thinks he is, but do you have any feelings about that of, if I died and came back, I would be uncomfortable. That sounds unnatural. What if the same soul doesn't come back? It'd be so easy to put in whatever your cultural world beliefs were when he has the discussion about, I plan to die.
Yeah.
Like, it would be simple and profound.
I mean,
and you wouldn't have to wedge it in or anything. You could literally use it as a setup for the character having their own experience when they find out they've died.
Now, really, for me, that was actually kind of part of my concern, was that would actually be like a thing Portia would possibly bring up from like Nevivon, of going like, oh my god, like you would finally see in this route, I guess,
right?
Because it didn't show up in his route for reasons of them discussing basically what death was like for them, and her going, you can't do that, you won't be the same person. Okay, so like there's an interesting basically Star Trek episode. It's for the Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where what happens with the characters is that there is this idea that they were like, if you cut into the body, so it was considered to be this alien species, you basically cease to be the person that you are. You've lost your soul.
So if you have surgery.
Yes, if you have any of this. So Dr. Julian Bashir, basically, in order to save somebody's life, I think it was him, I can't remember, it's been a long time, he performs the surgery. Anyway, it's a really simple, he's like, it's really easy, I won't let anybody fucking know. And then finally, but the parents find out anyway. And they go, and they kill their child, because their child is now, to them, the Walking Dead.
Yes. Because
that's inappropriate. And I was like, why don't you have that here? Like, I'm just...
Some sort of a death miso, some sort of a, but it not just, but if you die, you may not come back, which is a discussion, but like, yeah, what do you believe? And is it normal when you die to just go to the realms of the Arcana, and are those like basically your afterlives as well? And that, yeah, it would have been such an opportunity. Anyway,
it doesn't really matter what happened, how I died. I'm here now. That is what matters. And if the other stuff comes up from that, then I'll deal with that as that happens. Because who cares?
So far, it hasn't impacted my life.
In fact, it hasn't impacted at all, really, other than apparently people gave me weird looks, but that literally hasn't meant anything. Apparently. Which they didn't.
Yeah. You are. And I couldn't be happier about it. You're right, though. Perhaps there are some things one isn't meant to remember.
It's kind of like actually losing your memory isn't a bad thing.
It's not. Again, people don't remember, like, in a clear, organized kind of way most of their lives.
They really don't.
Like, if you ask someone to recount the last 10 days, they're going to be able to give you approximates and averages, even with a very healthy, what we consider to be a healthy memory. They're not going to be able to, most people aren't going to be able to tell you, I woke up at this time and did these tasks and had this thing, and especially if they have a regular routine, those days will run together. I must have done these things, because that's what you do.
I do them every day.
Yeah. I went to work. Okay, was anything different? Did you spend longer doing, jumping jacks? Did you eat a different flavor of cereal? Did you run out of milk? Yeah. Also, what could you recount the last 12 phone calls you've received or given? Like, you just don't remember things. Isn't meant to remember. Though it does beg the question of how you return to life.
Nadia is cut off from speaking more as the song ends. The moment we stop moving, a crowd of people swarm us, chattering loudly. I can barely make out any words in the din, though I catch more than a few complaints.
Oh.
Milady, over here!
Excuse me, some of us have real problems to discuss. Countess! One at a time. Please. Because nobody else is able to help you, and I have no delegation, and the only place to go is the supervisor. Okay, I need to know, in any job ever, you should not only have one head person and nobody on the way up. Even if you work at a basic thing like a gas station, there's usually a manager and then like a supervisor that you call if they don't actually come in, and an owner somewhere. Like, even if there's only like 3 employees, they're tiered, and you don't go straight to the top with everything.
Yes.
A same thing where if you work in a bigger company, there's going to be like, your like production supervisor, there's going to be like a shift supervisor, there's going to be like an immediate manager, there might be like a line lead, that kind of thing. There might even be an area lead. You don't go, every single thing goes straight to the top unless you're terrible at managing your resources. And there's 0 other people in any succession, including all the courtiers who apparently don't have any position of talking to the people to talk to.
Yeah.
This is weird.
It is very strange.
One at a time, please. Gently shifts Corazon out of the line of fire. Form an orderly line.
Why is she tolerating this? This is a ball.
Yeah.
I actually am kind of shocked. Like, just why tolerate this?
Not be like, this is a party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, this is again where I go...
Also, you come to my party, you watch me and my introduction dance, and the only thing you have immediately is complaints?
Uh-huh.
Excuse me.
It's also like many of the complaints, as far as I understood, were to be addressed earlier.
They should have been. Any difficulties and troubles, unless your sisters are shit at this.
Mm.
And everyone's like,
or
I'm
what they're
super
doing
confused.
is going, here's all my personal problems, and now here's my time to levy basically my issues against the court.
You're now holding court, and the people contact you.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, this is not the time for peasants to talk to
Which is
me.
why I'm like, why is she doing this? Even like the nobles, you would not want to do this shit. As far as I could tell.
Unannounced, everybody forming an art. Also, we're all dancing happily and peacefully. I guess every one of them was looking at you going, when's it gonna stop? When's the music gonna stop? We need to be positioned on the floor. Can you imagine them playing musical chairs while they're dancing on the bottom floor?
My fucking god! What if Nadia was wrong?
They were staring at you because they wanted to talk to her.
Yes!
That's it.
They didn't care at all. Again, Nadia believes it's about one thing, and it's totally about other things, and going like, actually, all everybody was here for was waiting to harass you.
Was waiting to go, I need this
I
thing.
need official business.
Uh-huh.
Which honestly, though, is fair because she has continually run away and she doesn't seem to address people. And she has promised that she's going to address things, but she never actually does it.
And as far as we know, she hasn't been around for at least a year and probably 3.
Yep.
So they're all like, I, as the, Duchess of whatever, the Lord of such and such, I need to speak to you, the Duke of this,
And then you just had, one of them was a party goer and the other one was an actual noblewoman, which I thought was interesting that Corazon knew that right off the bat, which probably should tell you, as I say, probably should tell you something about the costume, the finery.
One at a time, please. Form an orderly
Or maybe
line.
like the style of the court. So one of the things that was always really interesting to me was that a lot of cultures actually discussed where fashion, you tended to copy basically the fashionable things at court. So if you were actually a noble person who regularly went to court, you would dress in the latest fashions from court.
Yep.
You weren't dressing in the latest fashions around the city, you were dressing in the latest fashions, or from other countries, you were dressing what was popular at court.
At court, yep.
Yes. Have you a little time for an old friend, milady?
That's not forming a line. Corazon. Fuck you.
Corazon, you are really obvious. I'd know that voice anywhere, even if he looks a little different.
We've never seen him change clothes ever in our entire life.
Which actually I was about to say, but I bet Corazon going, what are you wearing?
What? What are you
Is that
wearing?
like a moment of like, oh my god, I'm wearing a cloth and I look stunning, but like, how come I'm not wearing something like that?
Why am I not wearing an actual a regular garment?
What? Also, why are you wearing that? Again, that thing I'm going to so you'd have some... I know that voice anywhere.
You're finally dressed nice.
3
whole years, and I've never seen you dressed nice once.
Not even once. Asra winks at me from behind his mask. Asra, a little bit of a surprise for you, eh?
You never did go through all of my things. You don't know what I'm capable of.
You also said it was all too dirty, so it makes sense why. Lips quirking up. Nadia's eyes widen as she recognizes him.
I love not Corazon being like, yes, my disaster of a looks at.
Oh!
What the fuck?
No!
How can you get a glow up?
Damn you!
That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
All right. Of course. Now that I've told everyone to form a line, if you'll excuse me. Really?
Told you, she doesn't actually want to do it.
She
We are
doesn't?
completely right. Like, even when she was, like, dealing with the other servants, like, they used us as an excuse last time, but, tonally, Nadia has no interest in her kingdom at all.
And she's
very performative, but she really she's very liberal.
She is. And she's not
She's
telling
very
them.
neoliberal. I will totally do things, but when I actually have the opportunity to do so, and I say that I have time to do so, I will literally want to go, I don't have time anymore.
Oh, something else happened. I'm like, unless her
Oh my
next
God.
line is, I'll be with you in a moment, I'm like, you're just going, form a line one at a time. Actually, I'm leaving. And you're not saying, talk to this person instead, levy your complaints here instead.
So that we can give them to a record keeper. Here's somebody who can actually, like you said, the person who can jot
see your
down
grievances.
Yep.
Of course. If you'll all excuse me.
Nope.
She says nothing to them. She doesn't direct them to someone else. She doesn't give them a time when she'll be back. She doesn't anything.
All right, it's done. Nadia is.
We have. I think we've pretty unequivocally established that she really doesn't want to be doing this. She just feels like she's supposed to be doing this, and she really is taking every opportunity to not do it. Every possible avenue out.
Yeah. Nadia extricates us from the crowd. navigating through the throng with practice. And again, Corazon is going to come to that thing, at least in my mind, of going, I'm disappointed. Because again, I came here because I thought you were going to be active. We said we were going to do things. We went going, this will be a relationship that we'll also barrel through. We'll make changes. We'll do stuff. We'll go do stuff. And what that equated to was Nadia running away.
Dodging everything.
Dodging it all. Through with practice.
And Corazon going, I could help you not dodge things, but I didn't think that's what I was here for. I didn't really want to caretake and help you be more mature at your station.
Because also...
Because I thought you already had it all.
Yes, which has thrown Corazon off, I would say, even more.
Quite a bit, yes.
Yeah. Then she leads us outside to a private balcony, closing the door behind us and shutting out the sounds of the party. And the people with all of their grievances, by the way.
And they don't complain, and they don't have a problem with it, and they don't go, but Countess!
Your Grace!
But your whatever I call you!
Yeah, your ladyship, your worship, please!
Yes.
Especially since she is technically, she might be a countess, but she is royalty.
Yeah. And she also, again, she's a princess as well, unless she lost that title.
Who knows?
I don't know how titling works here.
Yeah, I don't know either if you lose your So the thing is what I remember was that in Europe, which is largely UK-based for a lot of my knowledge, honestly. Like, let's be perfectly clear, it's largely Britain.
Right.
Is that if a woman married a man, she lost whatever she had to him.
Right.
And also, but he would never get any higher. A woman could only marry up. A man could marry down. He could marry down and it wouldn't affect him. So, woman can marry up. She can get a higher position. But a man can't lose his position. He stays wherever he is.
Got it. Okay. So, not she can only marry up, but, she is able to marry up. A man can't. But a man can also marry into a higher position, but he won't ever lose position.
Yeah, but the thing is also, he doesn't have that power, though. And sometimes, though, they will go, she's actually lost it because she married him who has a lesser title.
Right. So
unless it's a special circumstance where they go, well, she's the crown princess and we have literally no other inheritors.
Or she's the empress.
And then they make him the prince, basically, or they'll make her queen.
Yeah.
It depends.
All right. I'm glad you could make it, Asra. You look fantastic. We're going to have to look at how fantastic Asra looks
in the next one! Hey, I still think Asra's costume looks really good.
It's very pretty.
It is really lovely.
Honestly, I'm still not used to his hair like that at all.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I was slicked back or whatever, and it's fine. I'm just does that mean you do other things with your hair at different times?
Probably.
Because I suddenly want to see you in other hairstyles now.
Well, anyway, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. It actually does a lot for us in regards to the YouTube algorithm. And so if you want to support actually us or any of your other favorite channels, sharing, liking, commenting, doing all those things I mentioned will actually help in regards to getting people more exposure. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon and our Twitch. We have some links in the description down below, and we'd love to see you at one of those locations. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!